Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make God what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red, I. How they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta, can't sell it out, I sell out Babylon. They give man show one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. I. How they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta, I sell out, I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the right. You might go and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black? Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. ghetto. Run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel who really love rights. So just a and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do the righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Save all people.
And we love Jah. We love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
We love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Save all people.
Put time away again. Listen,
Yeah!
just as I and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I and I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down, war and cry.
Fight down, war and cry.
Rastafari, war and cry, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari. Jah.
Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
Globalists, good evening and welcome. Happy Sunday evening to you one and all. Thank you all for joining us this evening. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters and trolls, good evening and welcome. This evening will be more an informative evening in the first segment of the show, and then we will move on to other things. The Harlan pull-up wife of the Prime Minister is in London. It look like a me one, one have the picture, so everybody say, AI, it be. But judge for yourself. Judge for yourself if the picture is real or AI. They've been tearing me down over Facebook, so me create AI picture of the Prime Minister's wife. But if the Prime Minister's wife choose to let Rex draw her across the Atlantic, then there's not much I can do if the Prime Minister's wife turn up in London like she was drugged by a werewolf across the Atlantic. So please, don't blame me. You can deny say Juliet down to London or Oxfordshire where her son lives. But Juliet cannot deny that she wasn't at Heathrow Airport. You understand? So go on with yourself. How are the globalists? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Debbie Jarvis TV, good evening and welcome. Marcia Thomas, good evening. Good evening and welcome. Sharon Bernard, good evening. Good evening, Monica Wills. Good evening. Lorraine Michaels, good evening. Good evening. Charlotte Graham. Lassam Riley. Colleen. Miranda Ruddock. Who else is here? Good evening, everybody. And to the silent listeners, good evening. Hit the like button for us, please. We are going to talk in the first segment about there's two grants in relation to Melissa Building support that you can apply for. Now, nobody is going to come and register you. Nobody is going to come and find you. No, there's two grants that you can apply for either or. You are not entitled to both. You're entitled to one of the building support grant, and they are paid through two agencies of the government, the NHT as well as PATH. Now, let's look at PATH first. Abina Sarkodi, good evening. Cousin Myrna, good evening. Share this live, Cousin Myrna, because the community, this is important to the community as well. And I will probably put a voice note in the community group. I'll probably put a voice note in the community group explaining this to the community, what I'm going to explain now. But this is something I'm going to tell you about that is already ongoing. I have spoken to people who have applied and successfully received their grant. Let me turn off the hallway light. It's getting in my hand. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. No. Let's look at the PATH program, Brenda Elson. Good evening. Let's look at the NHT program first. Now, if you are NHT contributor, you can apply, current or previous NHT contributor, you can apply for that grant to NHT. If you don't fall into the category of an NHT contributor, then your application is to PATH. You know, that is run by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, and your local NIS office deals with that. But look, let's look at the NHT grant first. It's up to £500,000. That's the maximum. And that's based on the severity of the damage to your property. Now, if you're a current contributor or NHT contributor, you can apply for that loan, for that grant, not loan, grant. That grant as well is transferable, meaning if you are outside of the disaster zone, if you are not affected by Melissa, but you're an NHT contributor, and a family member of yours, i.e. your mother, father, brother, sister, grandmother, so on, child, lives within the disaster zone and their building is damaged, you can apply for that grant. You as the NHT contributor can apply for that grant on their behalf. So that's when we say the grant is transferable for the NHT contributors and pensioners as well. Pensioners also falls into the NHT category of applying for that grant. So we deal with the criteria, what do you call it? The NHT transferable part of the grant. No, there are criteria as well that you have to meet. You have to have proof that you had a house or had a house and it is damaged. you can take picture of all of that. Now, one of the area that might be problematic is a lot of people have their house, but not necessarily have a title, but you might be paying tax. Some people may not have title, may not be paying tax. Now, if you're a person who is have a title and is paying tax, then what you need to go to the NHT office with for St. Elizabeth, yours is in Santa Cruz. What you need to go to the office with is your TRN. You must go with that. You must also go with another form of ID, whether it be your passport, driver's license, voter's ID, such a like, and such a forth. But you must go with that as well. You must also have bank detail, because no money will be paid in cash. It will be paid into your bank account. Now, if you do not have title for the property that your house was on, or you do not pay tax, then what you will have to do here, you will have to get further details from the National Housing Trust in relation to your criteria for that grant. But one of the things you can do is with long-standing members of the community, along with justice of the peace, who can verify that you lived on that spot where you claim to have lived. So that's what is open to the person who do not have a title or isn't paying tax. But if you have a title, or if you are paying tax, then you need to take pictures of the damage to your property or what's left of it, your identification documentation, your TRN number, and you go to your local NIS office. Now, you can do that form online, not local NIS, NHD. You can do that form online. However, they've also, at the office in Santa Cruz, I've been told, they've got the hard copy form, the paper version, which you can fill out and take it back to the office with all your documentation and your proof of property and your proof of damage. Now, once the application is submitted, you will, as I'm told by successful applicant, you will receive an email back from NHT to say your application is being processed. Now, this is nothing to do with your MP. To access this grant, there are two agencies that you can apply to based on your eligibility, if I saw the word go. So if you're an NHT contributor, current or previously, and a pensioner, you are entitled to apply for the building support grant from the National Housing Trust, which is up to $500,000. But as I've explained, it's not just go there and say that my property was damaged. You have to fill the application. You have to provide the proof of your damaged property. And I told you what you need to take with you: your tax, your title. If you do not, you need documentation, an affidavit signed off with a JP, with long-standing members of the community to show that you live there. Now, the same thing will apply for PATH. Now, for those who are not contributors of the National Housing Trust, then you can apply via PATH, the PATH program. and that's with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. The same inches and features applies that I've explained in relation to the NHT apply. You have to provide all those documentation when applying to parts as well. Now, this is like it's almost been done on a first come, first serve basis. You know, so the Prime Minister, and enough money the Prime Minister put out. So the quicker you get your application in, the greater your chances are of getting a bit of that loan. But I spoke to people who applied, and within a month, the money was paid into their account. So this is not something that you need to speak to your MP about. This is something where if you are eligible on the path criterias, then you go to your local NIS office. If you're capable of grant, yes, grant. If you are capable of doing the application online, the application is also on the NHT website. If you're not capable or does not have one of the younger generation to assist you with your online thingy, then you can go to the office. You can go to your local office and make your application there and then. Hold on. Go to full website, one sec. But for those of you who are online savvy, then you can go online and fill the application online, submitting all the details I have shown you. So if you go on the NHT website, you see where it have the loan and grants, where you can go straight away to the application. Those of you who are NHT, who own an NHT home, if your NHT mortgage property suffered damage due to Hurricane Melissa, you may be eligible to submit a peril insurance claim. Submit an insurance claim by the 15th of January. So you only have 3 days left in this window. If you have an NHT home that was damaged during Melissa, you can claim what is called a peril insurance. But you must submit that claim by Thursday. If you're an NHT contributor, you can apply for the NHT peril insurance, but you must do that by Thursday. This coming Thursday, the 15th, is when the window closes for that. I don't know if there will be an extension to that, but you can engage if you're not able to do the application online in this yellow slot here where it says apply for the peril insurance claim. Then what you do, you go to your local NHT office. You have up until Thursday, closing time of office, to do that, to submit, to fill out the paper version. And it would better as well if you are going to the office, you make sure you have all the documentations that you would need before going to the office. Let me see if there's a time limit on the other claims. Hold on. Their insurance damage property may be eligible. All right, so hold on. I just need to see if there's any. This is a special home improvement loan. No, this is a loan I'm dealing with grants. Hurricane relief grant, bear with me. Disaster relief grant, the hurricane relief grant provides financial assistance to contributors who suffered property damage due to Hurricane Melissa. Key details: available to current NHT contributors, pensioners, and former contributors. Maximum grant is 500,000 per collateral. Grants allocation will be assessed based on need and level of impact. So I don't see any date as in a deadline when you should apply for these, but condition applies. Right, it says condition applies. Well, let me see if there's condition relief checklist. Hold on. The following documents should accompany your complete application: NIS, TRN, 2 valid government issued ID. So that could be your driver's license and your passport, or your driver's license and your voter's ID. But it must be 2 government ID. At least 2 payslip where applicable. And this is for the I will go to part and see if I can find their criteria online. Marriage certificate where applicable, proof of ownership, photograph of the damage, estimate invoice of the corrective work to be taken, material and labor costs. So this is the part I didn't say to you. So when you're making this application as well, you must also get your workman to come and do the damage assessment and give you the costing of what it would take to repair. Let me look at the Ministry of Labor. Ministry. Social Security. I want to see if, hold on, why is this thing not opening? Bear with me. Bear with me, Globalist. I'm just trying to get into their website to see if they have what are the parts criteria. Because the information I was given to you was from the explanation I got from people who did the application. Ministry of Labour website, I take long for open, bear with me. But you see that's the checklist of documents that you need for the NHT application. That's for the grant. Those of you NHT homeowners, you're entitled to apply for a loan to report damage or loss. Oh no. All right, when you go to the Ministry of Labor and Security website, they have a QR code that you can scan and that allow you to report damage. The damages, whether we're taking picture or so on. But let's see. Hold on. International Schemes Program advanced to Bear with me, Globalist. I'm gonna see. But nothing on the main page about Melissa. Come on, that on the front page should have path. Let's go to path. Hold on. I'm not seeing anything for Melissa. Hold on, Globalist. Hopefully them homepage. Like our NHT homepage, it's all on the front page. Hold on. Bear with me. Agencies and department. Funeral grant family unit, HIV unit, Jamaica culture. Let me load up and see more. National insurance scheme, compulsory contribution, path health program, education. But I don't see anything says Melissa on the Ministry of Labor and Social Security website, given that they are the ones who are in control of a lot of the Melissa stuff. You would expect to see something in all of these different slotting where you see how them have the different agencies and departments will fall under that ministry. You don't see any disaster relief management. Let's go to disaster relief management. So a Ministry of Labor, and I don't know. Bear with me, Globalist. I'm just trying to figure out what I can find on this. But hold on. Disaster relief, hurricane relief, a reporting form. Yeah, that's the reporting form. Disaster management relief. I don't see anything for grant on their website, any Melissa grant. But what I've been told, if you're not eligible via NHT, then you apply via PATH. So I hope that information you all find useful and you all make sure you put your application forward in time, because which part it maga, adesso it papa. So you have to make sure that you are in the fray of all of this. It is supposed to be a grant, not a loan. Yes, ono no say a grant, me talk. Ono no say me always I go crisscross over the place, but it's a grant, not a loan. Grant. But and for the NHT home owners, yours is an insurance claim. Yours is an insurance claim, and for NHT and NIS, it is a grant. No, Babs, I come across a video where somebody put up of Babs. This is in relation to Maroon Town. But it's
Chief Curry wrote
just how dismissive and disrespectful that these people can be. Listen to Babsy Grange argument in relation to the issue of sovereignty at a compound town. Because when Andrew Holness went to the Accompong celebration on January 6th, Andrew Holness, who had a standoff with Chief Curry, and not a pleasant first visit when we saw Andrew and people went up there after Melissa. But Andrew's speech at the event, you could see that they are sending a message. This is our land. We are in control. Listen to Babsy. Listen to the Minister of Culture. This Minister of Culture, who have been since 2016 collecting money on behalf of the indigenous people of Jamaica. Listen to the minister.
Chief Curry wrote to the Prime Minister. The public statement he made, he actually conveyed that in a letter to the Prime Minister, and he made reference to meaningful cooperation between the government of Jamaica and the Accompong Maroon government. There is one government in Jamaica, and that government is headed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And the government has a settled constitutional order that governs the entire territory of Jamaica. And although we remain open to respectful dialogue based on the historical relationship, it does not diminish the government's responsibility or its authority when executing disaster recovery functions or anything in the protection of all citizens of Jamaica. So Chief Curry can say whatever he wants to say. With respect, the government has a responsibility to take care of its citizens. It would not be the first time that there'd be the JDF presence. They have gone up there to camp. They have gone up and they have interacted with the community in Accompong and surrounding communities. So there is no militarization or intention to do so. So I don't understand why Colonel, or I should say Chief as he calls himself, Curry, would give that impression, because that was not the intention. They are members of the Accompong community who are members of the JDF, and there is no concern by the people there. In fact, when the Prime Minister announced that he would have the JDF come up and assist through their engineering department, there was applause. The people were so excited and happy to see the Prime Minister and to see the full team coming up there. The JDF's involvement is strictly humanitarian and technical, and in no way intend to infringe upon or alter or undermine the governance structure or the cultural norms of a compound town.
I find very dismissive and very disrespectful. Now, the question I want to ask, based on how the government are push with this thing and the government entire tone in relation to sovereign territory, because they're claiming, even though one, they don't understand international law, two, Trump dissemble international law, so the bloody thing don't even work anymore, so it's useless quoting it. But they're looking at it in domestic law. But what Babsy need to understand, the palace that the Maroons signs the treaty with, that palace still runs Jamaica. Babsy the Range. The palace, the crown that the Maroon signs the treaty with, they are still the same people running Jamaica. What the Jamaica government is operating on is a protectorate document for the administrative of the colony of Jamaica, so-called constitution, written by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in Westminster, not by the people of Jamaica after a revolution and an overthrow of colonialism. No, not that. A protectorate administrative document that was written in Westminster, and that will operate on. While Westminster was preparing that document, Westminster still prepared it with the full knowledge of the 1837 treaty, or so it go. But they keep going to the Jamaica Constitution when it have no basis. Yes, we operate on it. Yes, it affords us a level of protection within the grand scheme of things on how we exist. But unlike the American Constitution or the French Constitution, which the people have an involvement in the creation of it, not so for us. Our document was written in the Foreign Office. And then cronies like Bustamante and Norman Manley, who was power hungry, signed up with the terrible old British and say that's okay for us because it gives them power. The question is, Andrew Holness, given what I've just said, is it that the Maroons will have to surrender their land or we will have an unrest in the country? We have to ask this question. We have to ask this question. Is it that the Maroons will have to surrender their lands to the Prime Minister? Or will Jamaica go off in a civil unrest over land and territory? Because we see the Prime Minister hell-bent and determined. We've seen this Prime Minister taking a posture that no other Jamaica leader since 1962 have taken. Totally different posture. Up in the Maroon them face, one land for dig, one land for drill, and all of what the Prime Minister wants to do. But all of these behavior are pushing the country more and more to a brink. So what we want to know from the Prime Minister is, does your encroachment involve any mining within the Catholic country or further outside of the zone, a 176 or 178, the zone, the name where them for mine in? Prime Minister, I like the tone of your speech at a compound celebration, nor do I like the tone of Babs' speech, because on not backing down, on claim ownership. In my understanding, what I'm understanding from Warner, on claim ownership, and then Chief Curry just have to go work with Uno. I saw it look to me. Prime Minister, that's how it looked to me. Una claim ownership, and then Chief Curry have to go just work with Uno. Labor Rights, good evening. Good evening, Labor Rights. Do not know owe Madura no money? Because the way Una go on and go on like say, Una no love up and hug up with Madura when no see money. No, owe Madura no money. We want to know where collect Madura money for pay legal fee. So if any labor rights owe Madura no money, from one of being young and look like somebody, before the face start wrinkle and have the whole chop in there. Before Rex thought pull Juliet to the Atlantic. Oh, Juliet, let me ask you something. You couldn't call one away? You couldn't call one away? You couldn't put on jeans or trainers or booty? Anyway, I'm going like you ever look good yet. Now, Prime Minister, I will also turn to a more serious business. Chanel Williams, how you do? Prime Minister, this is a call from me, and I'm sure a lot of people will support this call. A lot of people will support this call, Prime Minister. A review of the shoot to kill policy. A review of the judge and the maker policy. Prime Minister, in 2015, you've went out on promises when it comes to crime. Impossible promises, Prime Minister. Impossible promises. Now, since 2024, we see you have an approach, Prime Minister, a policing approach, which it is becoming more and more uncomfortable. And I'll tell you why. I do believe, and we have evidence to support, that the police has taken what yourself and Dr. Chang have said literally. Literally. Or in another way, Prime Minister, using it personally rather than legally. I'm not defending criminal, Prime Minister. Don't get it wrong. But in the legal system that we have, a suspect, Prime Minister, is not a guilty person. A suspect, Prime Minister, under our legal system is not a criminal. So, for your government, the JCF and the JLP surrogate to be out here telling us that all of these young men who the police are shooting down over the last 2 years are criminal, we don't know. There's no proof that they are. Even posthumously, the police have not presented any proof that that warrants the extrajudicial killing of a lot of these young men. We've seen evidence lie bare of Romario. We've seen evidence lie bare of Jamar Ferguson. We hear of very complicated explanation from the police with the family having a total different version. The Security Forces Prime Minister murdering young men is not crime fighting. The justice system is there for a reason. The due process, Prime Minister, of the justice system is there for a reason. The summary execution, Prime Minister, of sometime unarmed young men, in the case of Jamar, in the case of Romario, and as it possibly turned out to be in the case of the recent killing in Black River. Mentioned there's a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions, Superintendent Minto, Andrew Holness, and Horace Chang. But we're asking the government to review the shoot to kill policy, to review the judge and maker policy, because for 10 years we've been waiting for a crime plan from the government. What we have been getting over the last 2 years, Prime Minister, is wanton killing of innocent youths. Because we can call them innocent because no one has pronounced them guilty. No, if a police shot a young man in a shootout, legally it's justified. The issue is, Prime Minister, we don't know. Because it was said Jamar had a gun. It was said Romario had a gun. It was said Bigger Don was in an active shootout with the police. Now we are being told it's mistaken identity, or everybody gone in silence. This type of where the police or the security forces can use that utterance with impunity, to use that utterance as the ultimate resolve, Prime Minister. Do you see the problem it is creating? Don't you think you're making young men angry? You're making communities angry? You're making families angry? That is not going to solve the crime problem, you know. There's more anger is being breathed amongst us at the moment with the wanton killing, Prime Minister, of young men, sometimes unarmed. Unarmed young men, Prime Minister, who your security forces could have arrested and processed through the system. Arrested and processed through the system. But the police just find it easy and comfortable to turn a hail of bullets on these young men. And they are the first people to go to the media and tell you that it was a shootout. Minto, may I hear some mix up down a Black River there? Me no know if it goes so. May I hear say a Westmoreland police get paid for come kill Bigger Dan, and you never know about it. If something goes so mental, this serious, because another police division come in your division, come carry out a cold-blooded murder, and you weren't tipped off about the operation. So if I saw you go, me don't know if it goes off it too, would attack. But if I saw you go, if Bigger Dan wasn't murdered by Black River police and murder by other police, me hear say, Minto, this is the reason why una have the narrative say una have to call in backup from other areas. Because there was no shootout between Uno and Bigger Dan. As it turns out, there was no shootout between the police and Bigger Dan. We're asking the government to review the shoot to kill policy. It is killing a lot of young men unnecessary. The police take it literally. The police use it personally. The police are using policing to solve their own dispute. Dispute that is not a threat to them. The people of Jamaica only need to stand up and ask for what you want. Are you comfortable with the government just shooting down young men until we say them guilty? We cannot accept it. Because if we accept it, we're not going to know the difference of innocent and guilty. And as per our justice system, we can't pronounce guilt on them when we don't process them through the system. We cannot pronounce guilt on them when we haven't given them due process. Now, are there wrongdoers out there? Certainly. Certainly. Should they have their day in court, or if them take on the police? Certainly. But that is not the actual case here. A lot of these shooting where the police don't say a shootout, it's not true. We have evidence where we cannot believe the police story anymore. The police story not able to tie together anymore. If you listen to Kerry Duncan, you remember that story Kerry Duncan told us? They went to execute a search warrant at a property, and on arriving at the property, there was a group of men leaving the property. They accosted them, and the men fired at them, and a battle of gunfire ensued. And then they advanced into the house, and another set of men were there firing at them. But Kerry Duncan will kill 3 people. And Kerry Duncan don't tell how much people they on the run. But Kerry Duncan, in a one incident, engaged 2 group of men. These are the stories, are the long time story from where I go school. Police were fired upon an unreturned fire. The police found a man in nearby bushes suffering from gunshot wound with a 9mm and spent shell next to him. We all know it. Opal, how you do? How you feel? We all know it, spirit child. We all know it. It's the story where everybody in a Jamaica can repeat out of their heart like the 23rd Psalms or the Lord's Prayer. Because from where I go to school, I found where I go to school, the story that I wrote. And the story that still, them just shift it look around sometime. We're asking the government to review the shoot to kill policy, to review the judge or maker policy, to review the Jeep back or stretcher policy, because we're losing a lot of innocent youths because of this policy that have been taken literally by the security forces. Babies are dying because of this policy. Children are dying, Prime Minister, because of this policy. Children are dying. 10-year-olds are dying. 4-year-olds are dying because of this policy. Because of how the security forces shoot lawlessly, shoot with impunity, without respect for the elders, the vulnerable, and for children. We're asking the government to review this policy. To be honest, what I know, we would prefer accept Zozo than the wanton killing. Right here now. Right here now. Would prefer right here now accept Zozo than the wanton killing. Than the wanton killing of young men. Because if we in a society where police and the segregate of the ruling party can pronounce you as criminal and slaughter you, then what we have a justice system for? The justice system is not the police. Police are law enforcement. Police are not the justice system. They are law enforcement. So the words that came out of the Prime Minister mouth, the judge or maker, the words that came out of the Minister of National Security mouth, Stretcher or Van Bach, these are taken as policies by law enforcement. Thereby, we see the ruthless and lawless behavior of law enforcement when dealing with these young men, unarmed young men, innocent young men. Prime Minister, this can't continue, so. We have to come up with another way of policing. It cannot be policing by the cemetery, Prime Minister. This really not going to solve crime in our country. Because when you get the community more angry, when you get family more angry, when you look at young men in the communities who are living in a volatile mindset because of the balancing act what they have to do in a certain communities, it's tipping them over the line to say, what's the point? If Trump can go kidnap a president and Andrew can turn gun at we, why should we follow the law? Our Prime Minister, if it is we young man them a follow the law and them a get shoot down because the police don't like them and police asleep with the same woman or whatever, where do you think we're going to end up? Where do you think we're going to end up if we continue with the approach where police becomes the judge, jury, and executioner. You see how much cases? 600 odd last year. One who could have processed in front of the court. It cannot continue like this. Because when these young men get shot, it just lie down and suffer. Sometimes we not even cooperate with Mocha. No Mocha, where Indicom. So Indicom have to find one on over there. Or court or whoever find one on over there. Because of a refusal to communicate, to cooperate with Indicom investigation. Everybody, call us. Wagwan, bro. Wagwan. Welcome. Welcome. Oh. The Indicom, if you find one, I know, rather the Indicom or the court, not to remember from last week or when me read the article. Find one, I know. Because when I refuse to cooperate with Indicom investigation, we're asking the government to review the shoot to kill policy, review the judge and maker policy, review the Checha and Vanback policy, because the police them are treated literally. The police them are use their feelings to enforce the utterance out on the mouth. And we lose innocent young youth. We can't force what we call young youth guilty, where we don't know the circumstances, we want to shut them down inner. We want to never carry in front of the court and allow the court to pronounce them guilty. But whenever time these shooting happen, the government, the police, and the labor, the JLP surrogate, come out, can't tell we he wasn't an angel. There's no law in any country that because you use a bad behavior or you're wrongdoer, you must be shot by the police. We don't have such law in our country. This is a law being made up by our dictators. The law in our country is to investigate, arrest, and process through the justice system. That's the way in our country. But with Andrew Holness, turn a gun at them, keep an expensive funeral, and box your uncle, it's over. And the police really don't have to answer much question because they can tag a hit out for years while they still at work and get paid. Look at the Mariadine case. How long it tag around for 10 years or more. And then at the end of it, then get a slap on the wrist, and them still appeal the slap on the wrist. Must be one of them get custodial sentence, and that one is appealing the custodial sentence. So all that fight for that how much you ever hear, it leave one disheartening. Even though you have a murder or manslaughter, or corporate manslaughter, whichever one of the conviction. It's disheartening because they've been on road for the 10 years. The one will get a custodial sentence, appeal it, and the appeal stayed the sentence until the... So literally nothing. And right now, Indicom is overworked. Indicom is overworked and under-resourced. So, Prime Minister, all of this look deliberate. Because the wanton police, them, Prime Minister, I be a gang I be a gangsterism. A gangsterism, the police turn it out in a now, And a policing anymore, a gangsterism. Because everybody under balaclava and everybody, we don't have police in Jamaica anymore. We have Gestapos, illegal police in the underworld and the criminal network. And that we interact with now. Because they allow to cover up their face and they allow to carry out brutality against us and we not even know who. To the people of Jamaica, is this good enough for you? Are you prepared to accept this? Are you prepared to allow it to get worse? Are you going to wait until it gets into your home? Until it gets on your doorstep? Until they kill your innocent child? If we're going to wait for that, then go and take way off 1111 and it just look normal. So if we're going to wait until they come for me, then when they come for me, there will be nobody there to speak. Because when they come for my neighbor, my friend, and my family, I didn't say anything. And by the time they get to me, there's nobody there to speak. There's a reason why Marcus Garvey tell us that organization and unity is the way forward. And until we get it, we are stuck. Flight Green, me see all I sent to the vet one, tear me up. But tell them, say the same dog. If they want to tear me up, you say Flight Green. Tell them, say the same dog. Where George Gillette Oldness cross the Atlantic in our mashup hall and pull up state. And that same dog that they forget come out for me. Gillette in the joggers and the high heel in London. Bigger Than was meant to play at Flight Green session that he had on the 9th. I mean, just simply ask the question. If Minto and Flight Green knew of Bigger Than, as what they're saying is, a gunman, a wanted man, a violence producer, should Mr. Green book him to play at his parties and treats around children, around young people? And further question, has the police ever passed any intelligence to you, Mr. Green, given how close you and Bigger Than were? Have the police ever passed any intelligence to you, or Mr. Green have warned you of your association with what they describe as a gunman, a violence producer, and a wanted man, even though it is now said it was mistaken identity? What about the gun that he turned at the security forces? Because if it was a shootout, you have to capture a gun on the scene, is it not? If it was a shootout, which you all told us it was a shootout, you would have to secure a gun from the murder scene. And if it now turns out to be mistaken identity, then there wasn't a shootout, was it? And if there wasn't a shootout, where is the gun? Thank you all for being here tonight on Global TV. I'm not going to see me a morning because I have a routine dental appointment tomorrow. So, and it falls within that slot of my shoot time. Don't know if I'll get to and come home in time, to be honest. But if not, certainly tomorrow evening. But Jamaica people, we could call upon the government seriously. We could have a sit down with the political representatives and make them know, say, the shoot to kill policy, the crime policy, too much mothers are mourning. Too much mothers are mourning because of the government's policy. There's another way to fight crime. I mean, if Trump can take Maduro out in bed, if it tap on for surround a gunman, if it tap on JDF and JCF, ask Trump how to take a gunman out in bed at crack of dawn. And that enough to learn. Anyway, globalists, thank you all for being here with us tonight. Lovely to have your support as always. If you have not yet hit the like button, please do so before you exit the program. And remember, make sure you put your application for the housing grant forward as soon as possible, because it's on a first come, first served basis. The people them don't have everlasting money. And if it is hurry, and for those who are NHT homeowners, you have until the 15th, Thursday the 15th, to apply for the peril insurance claim that will assist you to cover the Melissa damages to your property. And if you're not an NHT contributor, then you can apply via the PATH program. And you don't have time to waste doing that, because whatever little mickle and muckle you get to help get your place back together, then you must do so. Anyway, thank you all very much for being here with us tonight. Lovely to have your support as always. Join us back tomorrow when we continue the struggle for justice. Thank you. Good night from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just and I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for jumping. Let's go. Fight down, war and crime. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and crime and do that righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah,
Rastafari, save all people.
and we love Jah, we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari,
we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, save all people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace while we are penalized. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare we the way. Prepare we the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and fight. Fight down war and fight. Rastafari, war and fight. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
And we love Jah. Jah. Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari,
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari,
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twin.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.